Okay, this is the online session for the end of week 12, recorded on the 11th of December. We've got Josh and Michael here just discussing final things for the Assessment 3 submission due next Sunday. Okay, so Josh, what were you saying? You've got, for each character, we're supposed to have 8 pages each.
Yep. Currently, I've only got, discounting them all, I've only got 4 of each character.
Okay, so you'll have to
I've
do...
got a couple sketches in my sketch pad that I could probably throw in as well.
So basically, yeah, somebody tried that last time, like putting 1 character per page. I'm like, that's not the point at all.
I've got a couple sketches of them. Like I've got more than one. I don't have a single character per page now. I've got multiple sketches. I've got different color palettes for them as well and all that sort of thing.
Like yeah, I would say, like, you know, maybe 3. Well, are they small sketches or large sketches, or?
They take up the whole page. There's a variety of different sketches
that
take up the page.
Yeah. This one person, this one person last time tried to put 1 per page. I'm like, no, that's not the idea. But I'll show you examples anyway. So 3 pages. First off, 3 pages minimum of sketches demonstrating development work, exploring concepts for each character. So for each character, you know, you just wanna, let's see if you can see this stuff. You know, can you see these sketches?
Yep.
Yeah, so each character, just, thinking about the heads and the bodies, and this is a bit more refined, this is a bit more finished stuff, but like, if you're just exploring in the early stages, just this sketches to try to think about what the character could look. If your character is already decided, but you need some more, let's say you've already decided on what your character is, but you don't have enough development, then that's fine. Just consider, like, okay, you've chosen your final design, but just put yourself in the mindset that you're still working in progress, and even though you've got your finished design, just do some more development on it. The updated design is not what you have to do the final on. You've already decided you're on your final, but if you need some more development sketches, just put yourself in the mindset of, oh, I'm still going. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because before, like,
I mean, most of my character sketches are pretty much done. I've pretty much developed most of them now.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm just in the. I'm pretty much not sure what I should do now. I think I've got 6 pages per character, including a biography.
Right. Okay. So we'll go to the next thing, which is the turnaround. So 1 per character, which is just the basic front, side, back view, all that kind of stuff, which you've been doing in week 11.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's just a cleaned up version of that. Taking into account the suggestions I made and all that kind of stuff. So that's 4 pages we've counted for so far. Let's see. 1 sketch of both characters side by side, indicating their relative size. Okay, cool. That's very simple. Just so we can see the difference of size. Put your characters side by side.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably another one I could do.
Yeah, and just if you've already drawn the character like from the front view, in 2 cases, you could just with Photoshop just put them side by side on a single page. Maybe indicate they have like how many heads high the character is, or height meter, that kind of thing, just so this is what the characters are in relation to each other, and this is what they are anyway, like just 6 foot or 5 foot or kind of thing. So that one is sort of that it doesn't require like new work. It's just like take character A final, take character B final, put them side by side. The pose model sheet, which is what we were doing this week. So drawing your character in different poses. 1 to 2 pages per character. So that means 2 to 4 pages altogether for both characters. But yeah, that's just your character running, looking sad, looking anxious, jumping, all this kind of stuff, I gave you guys, Michael, I think you just posted today.
Yeah, just before
Okay.
this, I put in the week 12.
Sure, but if you look at the discussion forum, I already gave critique for Josh and Alfonso, so you can read through that. I haven't looked at your work yet, but
Yeah, I didn't think it would.
you'll probably see common trends,
Yeah.
common mistakes, or common suggestions. I think who was the one? Was Josh? Were you the one who did the character dancing awkwardly?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a character? Yeah. It was like because the idea was to let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see.
The vending machine was really hard. I couldn't figure out something for him, so I decided to allow him to deform, and that
Yeah,
allowed him
no,
to get a
that
bit more
no,
personality.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it was good.
that was cool. That was good. Just when I was talking about, like once you remove the face, then you can see how it doesn't all come through. Like for one character, like it's obviously they're really shocked and horrified, right? This one over here. But then you take off the face because that was the assignment. Assignment was without facial expression. How can you show
I
it?
didn't actually read that part. I thought
Yeah, it's
facial expression isn't important, so I still did it anyway.
Yeah, sure. But so it's all like body, right? So your character is clearly horrified, and then you take off the expression. Now it's maybe it's got a headache or it's a bit bewildered. So you got to exaggerate the body even more, kind of thing. Let's
Hard
see.
with a vending machine.
Yeah. Let's see. No, it wasn't you. It was I think Alfonso did the dancing awkwardly one. No, wait, was it you? Yeah, it was Alfonso. Alfonso had done this over here, which is a character supposed to be awkwardly dancing.
Terrified.
But I was saying he said it's hard to do, and I was like it's because like dancing awkwardly is not an emotion. Like showing you're showing like an action, right? But to show an emotion, you would have gone for just awkwardness or uncomfortableness as opposed to like the action of dancing awkwardly.
I reckon you could have gotten away with that one with looking terrified or feeling terrified. Got your hands up.
Right.
Something's coming from above you, about to, squash you or something.
Right. Yeah. But
terrified.
For this one, it's supposed to be awkward dancing. So I said, just forget the dancing. Just draw a character looking awkward or yeah. So I said for Alfonso, I already gave him a critique. Like some of these work, some of these are a bit ambiguous. Yeah. What else? And Josh, what did I do for yours? I just took off the faces. Then Michael's work is here. Model sheets. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 3. Okay.
There's a couple that looked a bit vague.
Yeah. So let's see for yours. Number 1. Which ones are working? Number 3. That's definitely like. Is she like surprised?
And she was meant to be scared or shocked or something.
Scared. Okay.
Just a bit shocked, sort of thing.
Yeah. Number 6, I picked the wrong reference. It was meant to be happy.
Right. Number
Wants to
1.
take the face off. He's not smiling.
What's number 1?
I think that was
Don't hit me.
Scared, yeah.
Yeah, like being scared. Yeah.
Now for the next page, so number 1 is like worried or oh no.
I think so. I should have put names on. What worried was, I know worried was one of them.
Yeah.
These are the other one.
And also just for
I couldn't.
Also just for future reference, you got page 1, you got 1 to 6, then page 2 is also 1 to 6. Just go 1 to 12.
Yeah. Didn't think of that.
Okay, yeah. So you want to show again. So a lot of these emotions are relying on the face, right?
Yeah.
Definitely for
Yeah.
Mr. Bean over here. It's all in his face, and when you take it off, it doesn't like to be intrigued. Like without the face, maybe he's like stroking his chin or like
that's why I had the girl in the purple was.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I would say. For this assignment, if you don't have the face to show emotion, how can you do it? So yeah, cool. Let's go back to the list. Where was that list? It's cool. Poses 1 to 2 of your character. One final line art. So what? Yeah, the best drawing quality you can of what your character looks like. Add more detail to one of the sketches from the pose model sheet. Clean up the line and present as polished artwork. Color is optional. So if you found that one of the poses worked the best for you, that really showed your character's mood and whatever, you can use that. If you find that it's not quite there, just redraw the pose into what it needs to be. Try and show your character's main mood. Is he sassy? Is he more timid? Is he confident? Is he, whatever your character's main trait is, try and show it in this drawing. And just stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself. What do you do when you're trying to look tough or confident or are feeling unsure of yourself? What are the little hand gestures? Would you put your hands in your pocket? Do you put your hands by your side awkwardly? Do you cross your chest? Do you cross your arms over your chest? That kind of thing. It's quite interesting with what you can show with body language. And as I was saying all the while, like the hands can really show some good stuff. If a character is calm or kind of fidgety, or And then what else do we have? Character biographies. Josh, how much did you write? You said how much pages of character biographies are there?
There's one for each. And
That's fine.
I think I've only just managed to reach 250 on each one.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't have to be.
I've done that.
It's just it's a brief, where we've got a minute for you to tell me what each character is about. Oh, this is a character. He lives in this kind of world. He's kind of like this. This is kind of what happened to him. Now he's abandoned. He's poor. Now he's on the street. This kind of thing. This is a vending machine. I don't know who's built to be sentient, or he got struck by lightning. Now he's sentient, or whatever. Just a little brief outline, so I get the gist of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like he was born in 1865 and then by a prospecting family, and then it's not that. It's not all that. Include character names and notes where necessary. So notes. So if any of your drawings are, if you've gotten, I don't know, a certain story beat, like this is the point where the character has lost something, or this is the point where the character has found something, or that you can just make a note. Just put everything in a logical order. I would put them like, I would separate both characters like character A, rough sketches, poses, refined, or whatever. Then character B, poses, rough sketches, final, and then the last page would be like side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
Just like logical, as opposed to like, just think about it yourself. Like, how would you like to read this, as opposed to be jumping back and forth, Like I would like just thinking out loud, like having both character biographies, then all the development work for both characters, and then a mishmash of like the model sheets and stuff, and then like just make it easier to follow, So like character introduction, initial sketches for character A, then repeat the whole thing for character B, and then last page like the final side by side. That's just what I would do.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because again, I think like a lot of people, when they submit, well, you guys have like, is this the first online course you've done, or you've done?
No, not really. I've done. Actually, yeah, I think it is.
So like, I think just even there's a lot of students when I'm teaching face to face, a lot of them forget that it's being marked by a human. on the other hand, so they'll just like, here's a random sketch, one upside down, here's kind of messy, here's whatever, and like, psychologically, you're like, if you gave someone to mark your work, like if you give it overly messy, before you've even begun, they don't like you very much. Because now like, oh, this is upside down. Like they put it upside down within a PDF. Like, okay, how am I gonna flip this? Do I have to crane my head? I have to like extract that one page, turn it around so I can see. Now it's a hassle for me to read your work. Where this is missing, is this dirty? Like, oh, it's so dirty you didn't even think enough to spend half an hour preparing this page for me. Like it means so little to you. Like it's like all like unconscious stuff. I remember one person gave me a folder and I opened it and all the pages just fell out. And I was like, wow, like someone was drawing on like lined paper, stuff was out of order. I'm like, what? Like I can't even mark this. Like it's gonna take me. I could mark 3 people in the time it takes me to like figure out what you're doing. You know, it's like here, take it back, put it together, give it back to me, kind of thing. So always remember that the person marking it is also a human, and doesn't and like it's also it's trying to like give you the benefit of the doubt. But if you make it difficult, they're like, oh, this guy, who's this guy? I don't know this guy. Like kind of thing. Just okay, just a general advice. Yeah. Let's see.
And a lot of people online seem to forget that humans are on the other end of other
Yeah. But I think that's good to have. Like that's why we do the you do the Skype or the WebEx meetups, so you can like see each other and get the gist of it. Because it's something you take for granted if you're just doing face to face. That's cool. You understand like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late with the homework. Like, oh yeah, I know. I saw you working really hard last week. That's okay. You can have an extension, as opposed to like you just typing to somebody online all the while, and you don't know who they are. Like, oh, I'm late. Like, okay, your fault.
Although it's harder to
Like,
it's harder to sort of portray emotion over a computer as well. So if you're happy or angry with someone, I mean, all you've got is capital letters.
yeah.
I tend to put lots of smiley faces when I ask people things or something, just to say, yeah, I'm happy with you, don't panic, I'm not having a go at you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say. Let's see. Going back, so weekly drawing activities. Yeah, must be all done. Visual diary entries. Yeah, so just make sure everything is up to date in the visual diary section as well of the site. So just it's all your assignments so far. Yeah, you guys know where they go in the visual diary area.
Yep.
Just put everything. Just make sure that everything's there and up to date, labeled. Discussion forums. Just make sure you've posted your work, but also try and give some feedback, constructive feedback to other people. But I mean, if it like don't go back to week 5 and start it. Just like make it more relevant, like from the weeks 8 to 13. But I think both of you have passed the discussion forum anyway, and the visual diary section last time, correct?
Yes.
Because Michael, you resubmitted for.
Right with stuff, yeah.
You resubmitted with stuff, so now you're up to date. Yeah. Okay. So, are there any other questions so far?
No.
Cool. Let's see.
What I can overly think of.
All right. So for Josh, like you said, you had 8 pages. Like you know what you gotta do.
Yeah, kind of. I'm still trying to. I've got about 6 odd pages. I'm just still trying to think what other pages I can. Is there something else we got to do this week coming up?
Yeah. But it's I've just made it visible, but it's use this week to add more skills to your repertoire and tie together the skills you've learned so far. This session, it's sort of like a review, just looking at back and what we've done. You can also do like facial expressions for your characters, which is what you can. Because before we were doing like body expressions without the face. Now this week we can like look at different facial expressions. dynamic expressions, all that kind of stuff. And then besides your character work, there's also like try and redo the portrait from memory that you did in week 1,
Yeah.
and just compare with how you're doing,
Yeah.
that kind of
Oh
thing.
god, that portrait.
But yeah, for this one is actually should be fun, because we're getting into character expressions, so you guys can really have fun with for Josh, you know, your vending machine. Now you can really show the different emotions. It's almost like what's the one? BMO from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Have you seen that character?
Yeah. No,
Who's Demo?
The little Game Boy.
No.
mm.
Oh, kind of.
There's also a Futurama episode that has a vending machine that comes to life.
Oh, okay. Adventure Time.
Yeah, but Bender and this female vending machine fall in love.
Right. Yeah. This is the character from
Him.
Adventure Time.
No, I don't think I've seen him, to be honest.
This is a little Game Boy character, but yeah, you can like look at this kind of stuff or how they do the emotions, if that's even if that's relevant to you, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant. I mean, most of the machine in the storyboard is basically facial emotion, really.
Right. Because I guess for her, let's have a look. But even if you like for this one, right? If you took off the smiley face, you can see. Okay, for this one, if you took off the smiley face, you can still see that she's happy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This one, take off the face, but it looks a little deflated. Looks a little sad. Can kind of be a bit happier. But yeah, see what you can do. What else we got? Facial expressions. There's some talk about like different line quality. So when to use thick lines, when to use thin lines, all that kind of stuff in your drawing. Because sometimes like if you use all one sort of if you only use one thickness of line, it looks sort of stale. But you know, it's just some advice on how to use the lines to give you a little bit more depth in the drawing.
I've done a few line artwork and it turns out terrible, probably because that's one of the reasons.
Right. Okay. Actually, I
same line.
I actually know another video maybe I'll put that into, because these videos are like they were just pre-decided by another teacher before me. But I'll add something. It's another video which is pretty clear on line quality. So I'll put that in. It's another guy, that guy Scott Robertson, if you remember.
No.
He did like all those sort of mech. In the episode we were talking about like thumbnail expressions, like how to do different thumbnails. He did all those spaceships. Scott Robertson. Line weight. Yeah. So this video, how to think about line weight. I'll put that into the course. It's really good. Cool. And he sort of just talks about so like, you know, when things are closer towards you, you want a heavier line weight. When things are farther away, you have like less line, like thinner line to kind of show. This is like a sort of bat hang glider machine, like almost like a bat inspired hovercraft kind of thing. So over here, the front, you've got the most heavy line weight. Here it's more medium, and going into the distance, thinner line weight. Can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll put the video in the course, and it's pretty good. Cool. So again, it'll be due next Sunday by midnight in Perth time. I have to. My deadline to mark everything is by Christmas. So I've got 1 week. So you submitting on the 18th, and I have to get everything done by the 25th of December. So yeah, can any
It's
of
hard to
you?
believe Christmas is so close.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks. So do you guys think you'll be on track?
Yeah.
I'm hoping so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So for
Managed to
Josh,
get an extension on my other one, so I'm hopefully I
right,
can get this one done.
right. So Josh, like the other things you'll be. So we went through the list of what's due. So you've done everything, or you like for?
Oh, I think I've got to make up 2 more pages
Yeah,
worth of
yeah.
something.
Yeah. I've got
And
a
this
bit
and
of
this week's
training.
activity is also like facial expressions. So you can do a lot of those.
Okay, so I might be able to put that in as a page for each character and then draw a final sort of picture of each character.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And also, I would just like to impress upon you to use reference when you're at a loss for drawing. I think for one character of yours, he's wearing a suit. Is it the briefcase guy, Josh?
Yeah, it's the lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer. So sometimes like trying to figure out, oh, where do I put all the crinkles and the roughs in the clothing, right? Um,
Mm.
just put on a coat, some long sleeves or whatever, and you can take a photograph of yourself, and I think to use as reference. It's like, oh, where's the material creasing, all that kind of stuff. For your vending machine, you can probably draw that by yourself. For yeah, it's just reference can be very helpful if you can't figure out a certain hand gesture or something like that. This week when you're doing facial expressions, I remember seeing a long time ago, like just when I was a student, another guy was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get better at facial expressions. Can anybody like recommend an artist who's really good at facial expressions?" And then I was just like, "Oh, why don't you just draw yourself in the mirror? Like you're making it harder than you have to. Like you're gonna go
Yeah.
research like who's the best
Yeah.
at drawing
No.
facial expressions. Like, dude, like you have a face, man. Like you have hands, you have a face. Like just like look, get in front of the mirror,
I did
make
that for the
face.
first time. I like the last drawing I did was the first time I actually looked at my own hand to draw.
Yeah,
Took till week 12 to go, I'll just look at my hand.
yeah. It's really weird. There's a
Took me a
disconnect.
while.
It's a disconnect. But for facial expressions, like I actually like right here on my desk, I keep a mirror right next to me. Um, and I can make faces at myself when I need help, or if it's too long to hold, like I just take a with my webcam, I just take a like a photograph of myself posing, like making a funny face, and I just use that. Like your everything you need is right here.
Mm.
You got hands and face, and even for a weird pose, like I can get in front of the mirror or set my camera to timer, try and take a photograph or ask a friend or that kind of thing. Like remember a like a while ago, a friend of mine was like, she posted, "Oh, I'm having trouble drawing my character in this seating position. Can anybody give me any help?" And it was a really simple thing, like, oh, like, just do that pose and take a photograph. You'll understand exactly what's wrong with this drawing. Like, it's sometimes easier than you think.
Reference is very important.
Yeah, it's really important. Some people like, especially I don't know. It's like some people are of two minds about it. Some people are like, or I think maybe there's three minds, three schools of thought. Some people are like, if you rely on reference too much, then your drawings will always look stiff because there's no life in them. Because okay, let's say you're trying to draw a character dancing, right? There are certain like snapshots where the character looks full of life and full of emotion, and there's like in the whole gesture from like moving my hips from here to here, There are some snapshots where I will look really awkward and it doesn't look like I'm dancing, but some is like, oh, this guy is like, arms are spread or whatever, right? So depending on what snapshot you get for your reference, maybe your drawing looks awkward or not quite fluid or dynamic enough, because that was the best you could get with your reference, right? So if you rely on the reference 100%, your drawings will always look too stiff. Now the other school of thought is, no, don't use reference at all, just go from your imagination, be creative. And that's cool until you come across a pose that like Spider-Man, a human can't actually do that kind of stuff, right? So, or just any sort of weird pose that which you wouldn't encounter in regular life, and you've drawn the character, but you don't have that anatomical knowledge to tell you, oh no, I've broken his spine by doing this, or I've broken his foot because I've twisted it too much, that kind of thing. So relying all on imagination with no sort of like anatomical knowledge to back it up can lead to drawings kind of looking a bit broken. I myself, like, a really good advice I got once was draw it from imagination first. Like, no reference, don't look at anything, just draw from imagination. So it's fresh, it's raw, it's like it's the closest thing to your vision that you possibly could get. And you can do multiple drawings. Like, okay, cool. This is the kind of emotion or feeling or direction I wanted to establish. Cool. Now you go look at some reference to kind of help complement your initial sketch. Like, oh, I see the muscle needs to be here. The muscle needs, the bicep needs to be here, this angle, which means the tricep has to be at this angle, and then you help yourself. And that's kind of how I do stuff. Draw from imagination first, and then help myself with reference.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of way. But I mean, that's the way to do it. I remember I once I was talking to this and again she was drawing from this reference, and it was very, very stiff because it wasn't like it was a super stiff drawing. And I said, oh, can I see the reference? And again, it was just like the reference was taken at just not the right time. So she was doomed from the start because it was a really stiff reference photo. And then I was explaining like, oh, what gesture drawing was, and I was like, okay, cool, you've got this pose. So if you practice this thing called gesture drawing, it'll help you to accentuate what you've already got. Sort of doing things in reverse. So she's got the like stiff reference. Now you've got to make it more energetic. And she was like, but the photo was like, but that's not what the photo was. The photo was like this. And I was like, okay, never mind, whatever, it's fine. So yeah, like I think a lot of these photography that I'm seeing online is quite good. For all this, there's a lot of like motion going on in all these poses. I suppose that's the point. Like, I'm sure like these, when you see like fashion shoots and the photographer's got like hundreds and hundreds of like unused shots. I'd imagine that's what's going on for this as well. For any sort of dance photography, there's loads and loads of drawings that are unused because you're looking for that magical one. That real photograph that shows that the movement. But yeah, that's what I got to say about drawing from reference and all that kind of stuff. I think we're done for the moment. It's just a quick one. Are there any other questions before we go?
No, not that I can think
How do you want us to submit all the stuff? Just put it all in a zip file and then send it. That's when you just attach it.
Sure. Well, you can. Okay. So when you put it in you can either put it into a PDF, but I understand if like some things are like some drawings are landscape and some drawings are portrait. So you can just put them all together as JPEGs into a zip file.
To their organized folders per character.
Yeah, you can do that, or you could put them all together, but this is how, but when you submit it, to ensure that I read it in the order that you want, then you've got to like label them like
Yeah.
like 01 dash, you know, character bio 1, next file 02 dash, you know, whatever it is, whatever you got to
Yeah.
write it in to make it come in. So if I open up in, you know, Windows Media Viewer, right, it's all going to come in the exact order that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you want to put it into a zip file, if you put it into a PDF, it's already there. But if you're going to submit like individual files within a zip, yeah, label it that way. So I can find an example. But you understand, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Web files. Yeah, just 01 dash whatever, next file, whatever, and even within the pages you can put titles as well. You know, character development for, you know, development sketches for yeah, do that as well. Like put like the titles, development sketches for the hero character, development sketches for the antagonist, facial expressions for this, or you know.
Okay.
Yeah, just so I know what I'm looking at. You can number each page as well. You know, bottom right, 1, 2, 3, whatever. Yeah. So so Michael, are you putting PDF or individual files into a zip?
Well, it sounds like the PDF will put things sideways, so the zip might be better with just JPEGs.
So you can do that.
It
Yeah.
would make more sense.
Yeah. Just make sure, like I said, it's all
Label it all as
label
accurate as
all,
possible.
and it all comes in the order that it's supposed to be seen in.
Yeah.
Yeah. The work is clean, clear, labeled.
Yeah.
Again, like obviously I know what to expect, but put yourself in the mindset of someone who doesn't know like what's happening. Like I think that's always the best thing. Like when you present your work, present it as like someone who doesn't know anything is going to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I can say. This coming week is like facial expressions, and it'll be a return to the portrait from memory, that kind of stuff, and just basically summing up final thoughts, thinking about what you need to practice more in the future, and yeah, I think you guys are on track.
All right, that's cool.
All right, and I'll put this video onto the YouTube channel.
All right.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks guys.
That's right. All right, see ya.
See ya.
Cool.